linger like 12 times today.
Hell yeah.
So good, bro.
Also,
Classic.
zombie is.
Zombie.
But that's
And their guns and their bombs.
That's the divide, right? Some people are like cranberry zombie fans, and some people are cranberries.
Those are
linger
you're saying those are the two genders.
It's the duality. It's the duality of cranberries. Cold
Yo,
open.
R.I.P. Cold open.
Throw gang. We are joined by the offensive coordinator, Lawrence Schlossman, the Sultan of streaming, Chuck Franco, the Admiral of Ad, Shah Nirvana, and the Baron of Bouldering, James Harris. Welcome to the weekly running of the boys, now available behind the paywall and on an unhackable, unwatchable YouTube link. How's everybody doing?
You said weekly like you're on fucking PBS, a PBS drama. Like you're on what's that show that old people like about
Downton Abbey?
Downton Abbey, dude. That's what you sound like.
And their
Weekly.
guns and their bombs.
Welcome to the weekly running of the boys.
I'm Julia Childs.
Yeah, right. You sound like Julia Childs, exactly.
Yo, I did fucking bake some chicken earlier, and I'd almost dropped it because we were in a fucking rush because we did Pair of Kings up until the very last minute.
And you know what I did? I got baked and ate some chicken earlier.
Oh,
We
how was your lean cuisine?
Yo, it sucked. It's it was the new and improved. It's kind of like a roasted chicken, so it's like mashed, like powdered potatoes.
Ugh.
Yeah, it just sucks, dude. It sucks, but it's easy to do because here's the thing: people don't know this. We potted for 3 hours.
Yeah.
With a pair of kings. Which it was at times hostile, at times illuminating.
Yeah, no, it was cool.
Times scary. Either way, you'll hear the same fit check for James and myself that you're hearing right now, also on PO.
Well, their episode also came out like at least a week ago or some shit.
Oh,
so.
damn. So this is this is
old fucking news.
Damn. All right. So then you know what? Honestly, dude, all the motivation I need to be extremely efficient and extremely offensive as the coordinator of this fit check AMA episode, boys only, probably going to be a 2-parter. We're going to figure that
Fingers
out.
crossed.
Here we go, dude. This is the unbeatable recon episode. Dude.
We didn't steal that. Oh wait, we did.
No, we did. Okay.
It's the unwatchable recon. That's what it is.
Yes. Unusable recon. James, you want to start us off and do the fit check you already did earlier?
Raw dog and the dogs, the only shorts that matter. I've found the V2s.
Where were they?
Just under some other clothes.
Were they ripped off in the heat of passion?
No, they were like a bunch of shit was just like shoved on top of them.
You got a shit problem, brother.
Yeah, no, I actually.
You literally told me you're like, I have too many T-shirts that the drawers are like they're getting shredded in the drawers or something.
Yeah, no. So I run through them after laundry day. I'll try to run through a few tees real quick and like, work out in a bunch and just sweat through them.
Keep the rotation going. God forbid, like you fuck up the cycle and then you get bombarded, dude. It's like too much.
No, you get destroyed. I do think the mark of adulthood is when you either get rid of or put a serious dent in the chair, meaning like the chair that everyone just throws their clothes on, right? Like just keeps clean clothes, dirty clothes, whatever. Like if you can get rid of that and expunge that from your life, congrats, you're a fucking adult.
Well, my John's chair is also my podcasting chair, and you could bet that my fucking juicy cakes have left my shit is like a Daniel Arsham sculpture, this fucking pillow, dude. A fucking fully formed cast in my ass. So
you're grooved. You're like Homer Simpson.
The clothes are not helping or hurting really when it's your voice.
Anyway, the only shorts that matter, and today was perfect shorts and hoodie weather. Like
love it.
We really, thanks to climate change and global warming, like we actually delivered the shorts perfectly on time for shorts and hoodie season. And on the titties, I got 18 East. Antonio was kind enough to flow me the shirt. He slipped it in with the pair of pants that I got. Thank you, Kenny.
What a homie.
And Hanes boxers.
Nice. Chef. Oh, what are you drinking, James? Are you drinking?
Just some cool, clean H2O.
Nice, dude. Very cool. Chef, take us away, brother.
I'm wearing the Subies. I'm wearing some Acne trousers. I'm wearing the Lemonhead Smoking Room t-shirt. I'm wearing Beams Plus flannel, and I'm wearing Hanes boxer briefs.
Yo, Chef.
Drinking?
What's up?
Hit us with the drink check.
You drinking?
And then I got a question.
Bud Heavy.
Are you smoking as well? Dart check.
I'm not. I mean, I got my.
Are you worried of getting a reputation now as like you kind of had a reputation as a dartsman? Obviously, you know me, fucking the goddamn dean of Dartmouth University over here, but you clearly aided and abet me. Are you worried of getting a rep as a dartsman?
Partially. I also just think like I don't need more reasons and more like occasions to attach spoken to, you know,
Sure.
like I feel
It
like
becomes a habit, like the muscle memory.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like if I keep doing it, then I'm just gonna want to smoke like
that balcony ain't helping, dude.
Yeah.
That balcony ain't helping. You might, and obviously you're not gonna pod like publicly in the common area downstairs, but like that balcony is just saying, chef, just blast a dart, dude.
Smoke me, daddy.
Put the goddamn motherfucking boys on mute and just fucking suck me down, dude.
Pump the butt, daddy.
Yeah, exactly. So Godspeed, my G.
Chef,
Chuck.
wait, hold on. Chef, the open flannel, is that like I know like it's a flannel, right? So it's like an overshirt. It's not like a base layer necessarily, but like, do you do the open button downs over the tees?
Oh, I've been, that's like been.
Because you're a cool Scandinavian guy.
Yeah. I mean, I've always either like,
all chef shirts are big naturally just because of his wayfish frame.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, like for all like my flannels and just like overshirts and stuff. I usually always leave them open.
This is the move for fall.
It's definitely a look. I don't know if you have any personal style questions or whatever, but that's a look that 100% is based on your body type. No bullshit. I have always been a guy that never does a flannel or an overshirt over a tee because I'm already like big enough as it is and really just a wide gentleman, bro. I'm built different. So for me, I'm always going like, even right now, I don't want no spoilers.
If you do it with and look, this is the serviceable recon that people fucking pay the big bucks for.
Yeah, the unusable recon.
Yeah, the unusable recon. If you do it with a dress shirt, or not a dress shirt, but like a true button down that you would normally just, wear button up, not a campy, but like a button down, it's not as big as like a fucking overshirt or flannel,
but then it doesn't look right. You know what it is?
No, I disagree. I think it still looks okay.
Are you still watching the OC by any chance?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But how long did you last?
Like 8. I think they went to, I don't know, like a lot of people got arrested or died or something. I don't know. It got too ridiculous. Like every fucking twist and turn every 6 minutes. So I just went back to
what you say. You know that fucking skit on SNL? That one.
Langston's doing a watch of it right now, so I've been watching like a couple episodes here and there with him.
Seems like a waste of time. Not to be a dickhead. I mean, dickhead to James, not to Langston, but that seems like a waste of fucking time.
People love season 1. People fucking love season 1.
Yeah,
how was season 1, James? What was your review? Pitchforks.
I mean, I loved it, but like then Pen 15 came back. I subscribed to Hulu, so What We Do in the Shadows is fucking gas. Got into The Boys on Amazon.
Love The Boys. The Boys.
000 on Amazon. Me and Drizzy, that's our favorite show. We talk about all the time via Hidden.
The group chat that you Big Hidden and Big Scorpab. Big Horny, Big Scorpion, and Big Hidden.
So OC kind of fell by the wayside, and like I gotta get, I'll try to get back into it, but there's just a lot of content right now. That's all.
Well, I brought it up because Ryan always he actually does wear like the open dress shirt, but he wears it with
a beater.
Yeah,
he's a beater boy because he's fucking.
You can't say that.
I don't know if we call him that anymore. Yeah.
What is it?
Guinea tees.
Yeah, that's right. Sure. Exactly.
But he looks pretty fucking cool when he does it.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Thanks, Chef.
Cool. Chuck, fit check, drink check.
Keep
it moving, sister.
I see. Is that a graphic I spy with my little eye?
On my shirt?
Yeah.
Is that a sliver of graphic?
But I'm going to start with the shorts.
Oh. No, I'm not trying to trap you. I'm just like, my boy is not wearing a Carhartt.
Yeah, normally, yeah. There's normally no graphic poking up into the frame, but today
Carhartt WAP.
Yeah, good eye. I'm wearing the Black Hill City shorts, nothing on the feet. I'm just rubbing my toes on the carpet.
Cool.
Getting all staticky. And then I'm wearing Uniqlo underwear, same as I always am. And then the Abolish Iced Tea.
Are you working right now? You seem super preoccupied.
What? I literally have no windows open because we were reprimanded for looking at other things.
Yeah.
I have the
just in the Clippies.
Chuck, is your apartment wall-to-wall carpeted?
No.
Okay.
Thank God.
It's a rug, actually, not a carpet.
Yeah, fuck carpet. Rugs, we love make rugs great again. Carpets.
No, but the amount you smoke, if you had carpeting, that would just be disgusting.
Yeah, no one would be able to live here.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, for sure. And it would probably just be so nasty from everyone that lived there before you. And
you would have to get a Roomba if you had wall-to-wall carpeting.
Yep.
You'd have to. I would
That's a
demand
fact.
it. As your landlord, I would demand it.
Carpeting is the enemy of the proletariat. Marx said that. That's a famous quote. That's a real quote.
All right.
What are you drinking,
Larry,
Chuck? Anything?
Just water.
Just water. Cool.
Larry, hit us with the fit check.
Subu's on the feet, Gramici cheetah climbing shorts on the
Stolen valor.
Gamiolis. Vintage.
I'm the Baron of Bouldering.
Vintage Wrangler Western shirt. I hope when I rip the buttons, it picks up on mic. I don't know about that. I got on a 316 times Cody Hudson bandana, my only good bandana, the bandana I wear for the boys and all of my best friends behind the paywall.
Your dress bandana.
When I tarted up a little bit for the fucking fellas. Yeah, my black tie bandana, and my dress blues, and Supreme Hanes boxer briefs. And I'm drinking Underwood Pinot Noir, Kevin Spacey signature wine.
Yeah.
Shout
out Frankie.
Yeah. You know what? Because we potted for so long, and I'm like, and you and I are tired, but we're not here to make excuses. And I was like, you know what? To make this AMA really fucking fire on all cylinders, despite the potential dip in energy, I'm just gonna drink a bottle of wine. So.
The Kevin Spacey wine, is that aged 14 years?
Honestly, even younger. Yeah, it's because it's like the thing with natural wine, right? Like it's all like, you know, quick fermentation in like a fucking weird barrel in some fucking tattooed man's basement, right?
Yep. All right. Fit check, drink check complete.
Is that the maceration time? What is that? What is that called?
That maceration is like how long the skin stays on. I think. Contact. Don't quote me on that. Ask them, James. All right. Welcome to the weekly running of the boys AMA edition. Possibly part one. Maybe part one of one, maybe part one of two. Yeah, we collected a bunch of questions from 5-star reviews on iTunes. Thank you for juicing the stats there. Sure. And also on our best friends who pay for access to the Discord left us some questions there. Thank you to the fucking best homies of our lives there. But first up, we're going to undercut all of them because Lawrence wrote a note here in all caps. There's a typo in it. It says, Larry wants to ask him genius denim question.
His genius denim.
I changed it to his. You wrote out him. I was very confused.
Well, whatever, dude. It's a note mainly for me so I don't forget. I wasn't necessarily like asking for permission. Yo, I think that our Discord, because you mentioned our best friends on Discord, that's the only Discord ever to get shouted out in the business of fashion, by the way. If I had to fucking speculate. I mean, that's, again, the only podcast that matters with the only audience that matters. And if you are a patron and you're in the Discord, you might even find your name in print, just like the goddamn motherfucking boys.
Just like that guy in Cleveland that was in the New York Times Magazine. I was like,
yes, that guy, and that guy rocked. Though I will say his dream fit, of which he was like, I'm definitely gonna wear it to meet these guys and impress them, was like a terrible
mids.
Fit.
It was mids.
Yeah,
it was
Yeezys.
Like
You're already gone, bro.
It was what like an entry level Johnson
enthusiast. It was a proto clone fit. Peoples. I see you, fam.
Every journey begins with a single step, right? It's just that this kid was stepping in easy. So
the step that this AMA is going to begin with is a step of my own making, because I am my own man.
All right, Larry, what is him genius denim question?
2 weeks ago, I was like, yo, great question to ask us for the AMA coming up. Did a little fucking preheat in the oven type joint. I said, ask every member of the core four what their go-to denim is, because we're all different shapes and we're all different sizes and we're all perfect, beautiful angels of God's kingdom. But you can find the member of the core four that corresponds with your shape, and you might get some unbeatable denim recon. So that's my question. And no one asked, you fucking losers.
Maybe no one was listening. No one was listening.
Not losers. I like you guys, but that
you're in the comments. You put it in the comments of the AMA announcement post.
I even put it. That's how much I'm like, yo. This is good.
This is the difference between our parenting techniques. You yell at them what to do, and I try to nudge them and guide them from behind in the right direction. That's what it is.
Either way, nobody fucking asked, even though, like to Chef's point, I was like extremely fucking thirsty with trying to get anybody to ask what I thought was at least 7.28 out of 10 question.
Well, it wasn't good enough to just lead the fucking AMA, but you put it there, so let's go.
All right,
who wants
James,
to go first?
What is your go-to denim for anybody that is 5'9" and 178 pounds?
little less, and a little taller. But my go-tos.
I'm gonna guess everyone's stats, by the way.
Oh god, you're a monster. My go-tos are some Legace wash denim that make my fucking cheeks pop. That pull a little bit at the ankles. I did not get them hemmed. They're like a washed out kind of like 70s dad jean.
Sure.
Also just a pair of also kind of dad jean washed like denim. Levi's 501 CTs, like they're the 501s, but they taper a little bit from the knee down. And then I'm embarrassed to say, but I fucking love them. My dad gave me a pair of APC.
New or petite standard? New standard.
Petite? New standard? I don't know, whatever.
Petite?
No, I guess not petite. Maybe just new standard. I don't know. But back in like 06.
Did he get them in Japan?
No, he just like got them. He was like at the store and he's like, oh, let me just get a pair for James too.
Do you know why your dad was at APC like when it was still was he doing his if you know type beat?
No,
just like
actually he gave them to me because he's like, I accidentally bought raw denim. I can't fucking. This is horrible.
So you're a John's enthusiast like your father before you and his father before him.
Yeah. And so I've been wearing them for 14 years. They are beat to shit. I've gotten Andrew Chen has repaired them at least once, maybe twice.
They're really good jeans.
Yeah,
I know exactly which ones you're talking about.
I had to fucking circumcise them at the bottom because like they were just falling apart. But I don't know. I still like them and they still fit. I think I have never washed them, never soaked them, nothing. Real natural wine vibes with them.
What do they smell like?
Pretty funky. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, like any good, like a good natural wine.
But exactly. It smells like a motherfucking foot. But I only wear like a good Serbian foot. I only wear them or Slovenian. I only wear them like in the winter. I never wear jeans when it's hot out. Yeah. No, I just can't do it.
They're great jeans. First of all, thank you for sharing your unusable recon with the Throw Gang. One, those jeans, I know exactly the jeans you're talking about. They're fucking awesome, great, perfect jeans that you can only get if you just wear in your own pair of fucking.
I have like the
your dad got you.
The pocket where I keep my phone, like as the iPhone has gotten bigger and bigger, like the whiskers of that, like it's like just
reading
a bunch of
how
L's.
old a tree is by like reading. Fucking, you're like, well, these pants came out when it was iPhone 5, dude.
Yeah, exactly. No, even earlier, 06, like I didn't have an iPhone until like 09. So like,
damn, that's pretty fucking. That's
wear your clothes,
legit.
Wear your clothes, kids. Take care of them.
Wear your fucking sneakers.
Yeah.
And I will say to OL, I think most people that know you were probably like, I think if anyone is to guess your go-to garment in any category, it's going to be Legace. But what I'll say about the Legace dad jeans is Legace really was the first brand that, like, not in a mass market way, obviously, because we're in such a tiny niche world and Legace was even smaller back then than it is now. But they were the first ones to do like a selvage washed dad jean with like the cut, like a straight leg or a slim straight. No. The first to do it, at least that I can remember in recent memory, meaning like within the last decade. Obviously, Ye and APC, they did that wash jean that was long and skinny, and also like I don't know if you ever tried to buy those jeans or owned a pair.
No.
It's the lowest rise of. It's the most ridiculously cut.
The sizing
jean.
was crazy, right?
You're like I'm a 38 waist. Or you buy a 38 waist to like they're so huge. Like it was like you buy a 32 and it came like a 38. That's what I'm trying to say. And it was ridiculous taper and long. Those were obviously more popular. Kanye famously wore those all the time. Really
Legace,
those.
Yeah, I mean Legace is always, I think, drawn from the
credit
70s.
Where credit is due is what I'm saying to Legace and the dad jean vibes. Those are them, dude.
Well, I think Legace is always drawn from the 70s as like a constant source of like.
Is that a 70s or an 80s thing though? When you really think about it?
I think it's 70s, but then like leaked. I think it's
maybe.
like probably 70s and then probably like bled into the 80s.
Yeah, and then 90s famously
90s.
too, like huge fucking mom jeans, dad jeans, whatever. Obama jeans. Chef, you're an Acne boy. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that that's like my go-to, but I just know that like I used to live very close to the Acne store, so I would like sometimes like when I really just like needed a pair of denim, like and I knew I wanted it immediately, I would just run over there and get the same pair. But
how many times did that happen?
What's that?
How many times did that happen?
Like at least like twice. And so, yeah, I would just have a pair on deck. But even now, I mean, like I prefer trousers over denim. I haven't really.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Sure. Like, but we're asking about your go-to denim, whether you
but
wear it once a week or once a month.
What's up?
Whether it's once a week or once a month, what's your go-to? That's where not.
My go-to is the vintage Wranglers that I have right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like those.
Where'd you pick up?
Yeah. Any tips? Any tips on how to acquire the chef look if you're 5'4", 102 pounds?
This is Lawrence's new thing. He tried to do this on Pair of Kings. He just loves making fun of people's bodies.
No, I don't.
Very cool. Very cool in 2020, Lawrence. Very of the times.
Chef, did you listen at all to the whole Chris Green episode? Did you get to 60 Seconds of Thirst, or even you don't know, do you?
No, I don't. Okay. I guess I gotta
All
go.
right. Well, I'll just say this: everyone
Chuck,
at
did
home
you?
will have
Chuck-
already heard
Chuck,
this,
did
but
you?
you guys should listen. It's fun.
Damn. Okay.
Chuck, did you listen to the Chris Green episode?
No. How would I have heard it? I wasn't
I
there.
sent it.
Chef sent the audio.
We sent the audio, bro.
Oh, you gotta at me.
Bro, it's a
in
chat with
Core.
4 people.
I'm kidding.
Basically, we did impressions of you guys. James did his best Chuck, and I did my best Chef, and we impersonated
We
you
knocked it
guys
out the
during
park.
60 seconds. It's good. It was funny. I came up with it in real time. I'm gonna take credit. I thought it went well.
No, it's
Sure,
good.
it was
This was my
hilarious.
impression of Chuck. He's a bulldozer with a wrecking ball attached.
Also, Chef, I just want to just get out ahead of this before it potentially gets me in some trouble. I kind of gave you a little bit of a stutter, which I apologize. I don't know where that came from because you don't have a stutter as much as you process really good high level thoughts in real time. So you kind of I didn't know how to translate that without kind of going a little bit too much, and then it turned into a stutter. So I apologize.
Chuck,
but I nailed it.
I gave you a super offensive, like Speedy Gonzalez accent.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Very
I'm kidding.
racist.
I'm kidding.
I do kind of have a stutter though. You're right.
No, you don't.
I
Not
start my
really.
sentences
Damn.
before I finish my thoughts, and so I just fucking
You guys aren't fucking Joe Biden. It's just that I feel like you're nervous to like when the mic actually comes to you, even though it's like
yeah, because they
it
go
happens
out of
every
nowhere
episode.
too, because they don't say shit. They just completely shut off and play on their phone and don't pay attention, and then they get plugged in, and it's like being dropped into the fucking deep end out of nowhere. This is this is nothing new.
Yeah.
But anyway, check it out. Yo, how about this? How about you guys listen one time to the podcast we work on? James too.
No, I'm good.
Chuck, what is your go-to denim?
316 classic taper.
Nice.
Bigger on
When-
the top.
When did you get those? How long you had them?
Well, I got a pair when I first moved to New York like 3 years ago. Had them hemmed to a 27.
He's all torso, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of 316 when you were in the Dale?
Yeah, Tucson. But yeah, but I just
The
just
Dale.
I just couldn't afford
Scottsdale?
it. I couldn't afford it back then.
Right.
So when I moved to New York, I was able to get a pair, and I got a pair.
How did it was it like a big day for you? Like a big moment?
Yeah, it was huge, and I wore them every day, and I got made fun of at the place that I worked at because everybody was wearing like Amiris and very skinny jeans.
Oh, right.
And
sure.
everyone was just like, "Oh, you're just wearing like a green something on top, and then olive, and then like raw denim. You're just like,
You're like, yeah, motherfucker, these are bulletproof.
you're just like,
When people come here to rob rappers and
You
ballers,
you were an if you know guy at the Drip Factory. You were a low key dude, and you were never going to be
at the Amiri store.
at the
Yeah.
Amiri store.
pretty much."
You wore 316 to the Amiri store first.
So is
mistake.
it still that same pair that you
Yeah.
is your go-to?
I have a new black pair that I want to
Nice.
break out when it gets nice out.
Oh, on ice. They're on ice. So is that a gift from the Chensman?
Yeah, well, yeah, and the homie David who works at the LA flagship.
Sick.
That's the problem with denim is that it lasts so long. Like I have pairs on ice that I've had on ice for fucking years. I have a pair of like raw salvage from Naked and Famous that that is just very standard. Like
Yeah, sure. I should.
Straight,
I take that.
you know,
They're fine.
it's nothing crazy. It's not like they're fucking like scratch and sniff denim. But it's just like
Who
when you
wants
find
to
the
wear
right
raw
pair
denim at we're
when it's not
almost
broken in.
We're almost 40 years old.
Yeah,
guys.
when it's
You
not
can't be
broken
out
in.
here
Yeah. Also, I
wearing
can't
raw
I can't
denim.
stain my couch. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
You know
sure.
how much his couch cost? Good
How
God,
much?
a lot. Probably the most expensive thing I've ever bought. All right.
Really? All right, good for you. Chuck, 316, if you are 5'12" and 205 pounds. 316.
Yeah, and also just like counterpoint, like when you break them in, they're more comfortable than any other pair. Like I
Sure.
don't
Yeah, of course.
I don't like I hate Uniqlo jeans. I love Uniqlo, but I hate Uniqlo jeans because they're too soft and too stretchy, and like I don't.
Well,
if I'm
stretch
wearing
is bad.
denim-
I don't like stretch. Stretch
I'm
is
wearing
a stretch for
denim-
me, for the most part, no go. But soft is good, bro, by the way, in my opinion, at least.
I think soft's fine. So it's fine to have in your arsenal. And I will say that
Sure.
one thing I used to like about Acne jeans is that they did have a little bit of stretch.
Well,
I like
as far-
and they were one of the few brands that did that like wove whatever fabric in the warp or the weft, or I don't know. I was never a denim nerd, but that gave it a little bit of fucking
What's the difference?
flexibility.
Yeah.
One's this way, one's that way.
I will say, if you want a denim rotation, you need black jeans, you need like a washed lighter jean, and then you just need like a darker jean. The darker one doesn't need to be raw denim that's like that's somewhere in its fucking life cycle, whatever half-life it's on at that point. Like, that's not necessary, but like I for me, honestly, the raw denim, it's like that is never even crossing my desk. I'm not buying it whatsoever.
Well, but it's worth. That's why my APC jeans look so fucking fire and so good and have lasted 15 years. It's just like, it's such a process.
I don't know
you
if
guys,
it's worth the hassle, bro.
Can I ask you guys, have you ever bought pre-distressed or ripped denim? Because I think that is a fucking abomination.
That's fucking
No, but
I think that's stupid and you're fucking dumb if you do that.
I had like washed Rick jeans, but they were not, and I never really wore them. They're so skinny. It's like, I think it's called the Detroit cut. It's I should wear that. I should probably look good now that I'm now that I am 6'4".
You look like Dave Portnoy working out at the Sway House.
Yeah, just with fucking sausage
doing
casing
curls
on my
with
shit.
Bryce Hall.
Yeah, that's fucking embarrassing.
The white gunner.
My go-to jean, and I a lot of people ask me about this. Supreme Slim Straight denim. They do a washed flavor. They do a black washed flavor. I think they do a raw. Not that I would buy that, but like that's the one for me. They release them every season. Some salvage, some not. I highly recommend that. The only jeans that I wear at this point in my life. Okay, thank you for indulging me,
Jesus,
fellas.
Christ. Let's get into our best friends on the Patreon and the homies that juice the numbers on the Apple podcast. We're gonna get into AMA. So this
looks like a cast system.
Right?
Are we going Discord first? It's like a cat. Like
it's all mixed. It's all
okay,
mixed.
got it.
I kind of tried to mix in like good questions, bad questions.
Thanks for nothing.
And if your question wasn't picked this time,
don't
ask
a bad question. What the fuck?
Yeah, but also like we had to kind of
and
there's down a little bit. All right,
and there's also certain things that we've been asked before. Like we always prefer originality.
All right, let's get started. This comes from Sham doesn't get enough credit. Very true.
Facts. Big facts.
Sham, what do you think?
That's very nice of you, man.
Wait for that Ladybird ep to drop, baby. Though again,
Although
I was interrupting the shit out of you, dude.
This person misspelled your name, so fuck them.
Yeah, so
Sham doesn't get enough credit.
That's a
Damn, wow.
The question is, who would win in a fight among the core four? Furthermore, who would win in a complete battle royale of the TF extended universe? So first question, who would win in a fight among the core four?
Chuck is the most physically intimidating because of his size and his stature, but we all know that he is DJ Big Puppy Dog and he doesn't have a mean bone in his body. Thus, honestly, he's dying first. He's the most vulnerable because even in a fight to the death, he's going to practice nonviolence, especially when it's with his boys. So that turns
but at the same time, I think if we start getting fucked up by like a rival gang or whatever, I think he's like the giant in Game of Thrones, you know, that like gets shot in the eye. And,
he's Hodor.
No, not Hodor. Well, no, he's Hodor. He is Hodor.
Hold the door. Yeah.
Chuck, who's also a DJ, just like Chuck.
DJ Hodor. No, Chef is physically he's too fucking brittle, bro. He's a wayfish twink. We've established that. He's the elf shooting. He's the Legolas or whatever. Shooting bows and arrows. Exactly. Right. Yeah. He's more of a what is that?
That's ring of. No,
what are they? They're trolls. Are they trolls?
Elves.
He's an elf.
Circle of the Ring. What is it? The fuck is
Lord
it?
of the Ring.
Fellowship. Lord of the Rings.
Fellowship of the Johns.
Between
me and you are more physically gifted and in better shape. But I will say, of the two of us, I think I'm more diabolical. I'm going to go with myself of the core.
So I think you are right. You are diabolical. I think you would do shit like kick me in the dick and throw sand in my eyes. But I do think that, yes, I would just pummel you to death. Like I would just fuck you up.
James is from New York, though.
Yeah.
But I think Lawrence has, I think Lawrence has more actual fighting experience because he used to just beat up freshmen and piss on them in college.
That was not true. I did do a home invasion. But I was more of peer pressure. Okay, to be clear, you can listen to this.
I did hurt my back recently, so you could use that against me. But yeah, did I go to the rock climbing gym and climb for an hour and a half and do 30 pull-ups? Yeah. So, all right, who would win in a complete battle royale of the TF extended universe?
A pull-up contest would be good. I just started introducing pull-ups into my stair routine, literally today. And it
Okay,
wasn't
when do you
something
wanna
that I
do it?
necessarily was like chomping at the bit to share. Give me some time, and then you and I should do a pull-up competition. But I need to lose more weight and get stronger. I'm not ready yet, but I would love
What
to.
do you think you can do?
So James, how do you do pull-ups? Like, what's your grip, and what's like?
So
do you
I
go
don't-
till failure? Like, what's your
So
strategy?
yeah, you go to failure. I do like sloped like this. I don't do a bar. So because it's climbing, so it's like this. So I'm like this kind of.
Shit,
I mean?
that's harder. You're doing all fingers.
Yeah.
Can you do more with your fingers than your biceps? That's
Well,
impossible.
pull. I don't know. This is a dumb
I was
conversation.
doing. I was doing this. What's this grip? And if
I
you have
don't
the
know.
video, you're welcome.
Hammer
That's
curl?
like
Doing the bust down.
I was doing the whoa. I was doing the whoa. But anyway, I would love to, but I need to. I could
no,
get obliterated.
also,
did
we are gonna-
30 little fucking rat pull-ups?
in sets of
mouse
sets of
guys?
I did in sets of 6.
Oh,
So like you're like this.
I'm embarrassed to admit that my first set, and I was doing a full extension. I did like 5, and
not bad.
then yeah, I mean, I also fucking probably weigh a lot more than you.
All right, I'll give you some time, or
Yeah.
we're gonna go rock climbing soon, supposedly.
Yes, that's
at
gonna
the
be fun,
place
dude.
in
I'm
Dumbo. So
excited.
we got to do that before it gets too cold. All right,
Sure.
who would win a complete battle royale of the TF Extended Universe?
Easy. This is easy. This is
All right,
easy.
go. Who?
It's Top Shelf Tyson.
Oh, obviously.
Who,
Oh,
who famously
sure.
said he wears the clothes he does because he can fight.
Yeah.
That's true.
Damn.
Yo, I want to throw another contender out there though. Chris Green, our most recent guest, Sober? fast as fuck, ripped
Yeah.
as fuck, hot, and went to the military, so he knows how to kill people.
Yeah, definitely the military thing. He could be like low key Black Ops. Does anyone do martial arts in the TF Extended Universe? Like Gian does DDR, like Eddie Gordo style, like capoeira. It doesn't really count. You know what I'm saying?
Jake Wolf used to do rumble boxing.
Yo, just getting your ass beat by Wolf behind the paywall. We would
Chris
literally.
Chris Black can do a bunch of burpees because he goes to Barry's or some shit.
If we did a fucking TF Extended Universe celebrity boxing match, we would literally, and I wouldn't want to raise money for charity because I would want to make all this money. We'd make $1 million. It's Top Shelf Tyson. First of all,
Yeah.
Top Shelf Tyson is a mountain of a man. First of all, he's huge. Secondly, his whole life motto is fuck around and find out. I am not trying to fuck around.
Nope.
And I'm definitely, Lord knows I'm not trying to find out.
I was gonna say maybe them jeans has a shot just because no one can fucking land
Lucas is as
anything to the
tall.
head.
That's the
But I'm
crazy
saying, so I forgot about Lucas. I think it's Lucas or Chris Green.
Bro,
What if Lucas is smacked?
Big tree fall hard. Big tree fall hard.
Big
with
van go
Lucas,
down,
but
yeah.
I think Lucas throws an open hand slap or he's boxing your ears out of your mind, your brain is blown out of your asshole.
It's like when what's his name? Homelander fucking claps the blind guy.
Well, not there yet.
Season 2, episode 1. All right.
Spoilers.
It's not a spoiler.
Still finishing season 1 also. Watch The Boys. It's awesome. Okay. Chuck or Chef, do you have anything to add or can we move on?
Move on.
Okay.
So it's
Do
Lucas.
you guys have
It's Top Shelf Tyson.
who do you think would win in the fight between all of us? Just give your answer. Chuck and Chef.
The core 4.
I think Lawrence and James there would be a simultaneous knockout. like Larry.
Politics as usual
Larry-
from this
Larry-
guy. Politics as usual.
Larry would take me down. James would take Sham down.
I
and
would
then-
not take Sham down.
I'm
and
not
then
taking
it
you
was-
down either, bro. I don't want to do that. You take yourself down. But anyway.
Why are we
okay.
talking about this then?
Yo,
All right, Chef.
maybe Chuck and Chef tie because me and you just focus our energies on killing each
Oh,
other.
right. We're just in the corner doing Rock'em Sock'em Robots till we die, and these two
They're
are
just like
I guess
yo,
it's
you
our
want to
podcast now.
they're like, you want to go to the Commodore? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, you want to hang out and enjoy each other's company. Chef, any extra thoughts before we move on?
No, I agree with everything that you guys.
All right.
All right, Lawrence, next question, you're up.
My 5'4" frame isn't doing me any.
See?
favors.
This
Yeah.
motherfucker
All right.
talking like it's 1999.
Phil Skid 8008 8008 wants to know: are you guys allowed to have anyone at Barstool? Parentheses, Big Cat, PFT fights, etc. Back on the only podcast that matters.
So short answer, yes, but it's all about timing, right? So we've talked to Big Catherine, and having him on would be a fucking blast. We've talked to YP, having him on would be a blast, especially now that he's a fucking engaged man.
Mhm.
That's only going to see one more vagina for the rest of his life. But it's really just like we asked them during the height of quarantine, and
Timing
just
is
like
everything. We
just
did
like
not possess
everybody
it.
else, every single Barstool podcast. I don't know if they admit this or not, but like every podcast in the whole fucking game just got destroyed by COVID because no one's commuting anymore, right?
Right.
So he was like, "Look,
25% down the fucking turtlet."
So he was like, yo, I love to and I want to, and I'm pretty sure I can because I'm a big swinging dick here and Dave can't say no. Nardini can't say no. But I really got to focus on helping out our own network first before, because he's a selfless guy, right? So he's looking out for
and
number
he has
one.
equity, and he's one of the guys, which was
Yes,
part of the drama with Dave. That was like,
are they beefing?
Legitimately, I had my popcorn out for that one. That one was like legitimately
that's right.
intense. Especially
the racism stuff
for our lifetime executive producer, Big Catherine. But no, there's no real beef. I think this is like, people listen. At the end of the day, I actually think that at this point now, it's absolutely water under the bridge. They have so much going on, whether you like them or not. You can't deny that, like the shit with Penn and the fucking app and fucking gambling and Dave moving to PA. Like they got so much going on. As far as who do I want back the most? That's Big Cat, because of the stats. You know that motherfucker puts asses in seats. Yep. Who do I think is most likely to come on first of all the people that were mentioned, of which we have good relations with? I think YP is the most likely to make his triumphant return. Yeah. I had to guess. YP is the guy, TF asks YP to jump. YP says how high. That's our fucking guy, dude.
I do really regret not sending in.
Yeah, we should have done something nice for their engagement. By the way, Chuck, you're welcome for blessing you and Lily on your birthday.
We already talked about that.
When?
Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, and for Lady Bird.
Oh, wow. Damn, we were creating too much content. I can't even keep track.
But this that might come out. Who knows when that's coming out? So
I don't know.
You're welcome again. I really.
Oh, you're right. Shit.
What I'm saying, I really wish we'd sent some merch to Prez and Nardini.
Yes.
Both as a fuck you and a thank you.
And people mentioned that because we thought of it too late with the podcast boots, and then someone in the Cord mentioned it, and we were like, yeah, it's no. That would have been
awesome. We thought about it, but we were like, no, let's not ruffle any feathers. Like, let's just get these out the door and like do this right.
We did. Okay. Even though I don't think that could be perceived as anything but graciousness. We got Nardini a gift from 18 East that never, and Kenny Antonio held it aside for us, and I feel like we never really followed up, but we got her that the fleece right? vest, which I feel bad because like that's my biggest regret is burning that bridge. But anyway,
let's move on. Yeah, Barstool people on the pod, maybe. Sure. Nikki P asks, which runway show you've been to was the worst and the best?
So many are the worst. When you primarily go to New York Fashion Week, like myself or James, all of the shows are bad. I mean, that's why it's New York Fashion Week. That's kind of like, that's the cruising altitude there. The worst of the worst would have just been any of those. Like, listen, if the show was bad, this was my thinking at the time. And would even honestly to this day still is. If the show is bad, but you're giving me a front row seat and it's not a complete pain in the ass or fuck to get to, or it's fucking up my schedule, I'm going to do it. I sat front row famously at Nautica for years, like a fucking king in his castle. But we're talking about the Nautica
you and Lil
runway
Yachty
show where a dude is going to walk down the runway in like a metallic Speedo, mall grabbing a snowboard. Like it's that level. It's like that level complete, like,
you and a 10-year-old Lil Yachty.
Yeah, and then the best would have been the Michael Bastian show that I brought Ezra to, even though I got snaked by Will Welch and Mag, and they definitely kind of like rode my wave to be like cooler than me, so I didn't get to like flex, and I just had like it was just really me and Wolf when it was supposed to be myself and Ezra. Those Hood by Air shows that you and I went to since Jump were, I mean, sitting behind Ye, seeing Rocky walk, like that was that was the best time. I sat behind Ye and Virgil, maybe 2 rows behind.
I think you were 2 rows behind them because behind them was like Heron Preston, like
or Matthew, right? You would have been. Were you sitting next to Matthew or one behind Matthew? I would have always been.
I sat so. Okay, let me just answer this question. So worst show was a Jeremy Scott show because I did get a front row seat and I got there late because I took a cab like a fucking sucker instead of taking the train.
Always
rookie
faster.
mistake.
Always fucking faster.
And I'm waiting to get shown to my seat because I was like a little late, and they're like, all right, wait here. And then fucking Jared Leto just struts by me and takes my seat. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh, sorry, like they're standing. And I was like,
sorry, it's Jared Leto. Like what? Yeah. Sorry, Jim Harrison.
So that sucked. And then best was absolutely that first Hood by Air show at Milk. I sat next to Matthew Henson. Between him and J.R. Smith, I caught a contact high off fucking J.R. He was so high. And then I didn't even know Kanye was there because he was like further down the same row. So like I couldn't see him when I was like looking out.
Yo, a great runway show. Travis Scott walking McNary, which you worked, and I definitely sat front row. I kicked over.
Hold on. No.
Oh,
I did not work that one. But but wait, real quick. So the Kanye HP Hood by Air one, I was like standing up and kind of like just chilling there, and then all of a sudden Kanye walks by, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I stick my phone out to take a photo, and then like the security guard, kind of similar to pushing you down, just like slapped my hand really hard.
Right, yeah.
But and then I was gonna say the McNary show that I produced, which was walked by Danny Brown, which was fucking the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but it was also like an amazing thing that I got to do. And then I don't know if I really worked the Travis. I think I was at Complex when like Travis and Pusha and Cameron.
Oh, right.
Same show.
That was embarrassing.
Also just the Yeezy shows.
Yeah, all the Yeezy shows. Absolutely was going to say that, especially Yeezy season 1. That absolutely feels like a moment in time.
Is that when he played Wolves? And like it was like Jay-Z, Beyonce.
Yeah, because the listening
Kardashian.
at Pablo was also.
That was season 3,
right? And that maybe is the best fashion show I've ever been to. That was incredible. Yeah, it was also sick for a lot of. I don't want to admit this, do I? Doing a lot of drugs at MSG. On the clock. Definitely one of those like young, stupid. I'm in the shit. I'm established. Like we're gonna take it to a place that, looking back, it's like you're so dumb.
And then this was soon after Narc Dad had departed Complex and gone to GQ, and we're like, yo, come back to the office. You're already like in Midtown. Let's drink some beers. We get shit faced. I get a call from Complex PR. They're like, yo, Good Morning America wants an editor to come on Good Morning America and talk about the Kanye show. I'm like,
right, Lamar
there.
Shit, yeah.
I was like, I need
that
beers.
Was Lamar's first appearance, right?
I told her, I was like, yeah. So I was like, yo, can I get a beers there because I'm gonna come through with like Angel Diaz and Narc Dad, and I think were you there? I don't know.
Yeah. I thought we were
and they're like,
no.
Before. But then they were like, so what do you think of the show? And I was like, oh, Vanessa B. Kraft, this refugee situation, Syria. And like, what about Lamar Odom? And I was like, oh yeah, Lamar Odom was cool.
What do you think about this fucking famous crackhead over here?
And then that's all. And then of course that's all they aired. So my robust fashion analysis just.
We were definitely pre-gaming hard at Grailed, the Wolf of John Street era. That first office. And I definitely didn't link up with you after. I was not invited to Good Morning America. The McNary show where Travis walked along with Killa.
He skipped.
And Pusha. Yes, Travis did skip. Worst walk. Honestly, absolutely pathetic fucking walk. What a bitch. I was sitting front row. And I was like, I remember being like, yo, my BPMW family like did me right. Like I'm in the same row as Pesco, Eugene Tong, Nick Wooster, whatever. I'm like, yo, this is I've arrived moment. Not to mention, you and I might have been the only people there who knew who Travis Scott was. He was not famous. This is like, this is post Owl Farrow, but like no one gave a shit. Maybe even Owl Farrow.
Was walking at Mark McNary's show.
Yeah, exactly.
At New York Fashion Week.
That tells you all you need to know. I knocked over a cup of water some idiot put down like either next to me, and I kicked it into the shot, and I think the cup like rolled, and luckily no one traced back the fucking trail of tears to my fucking whatever I was wearing, my bean boots at the time. But I was like
pod boots.
I was like, oh my god, party foul, dude, ultimate faux pas, bro. Every shot, I'm like, if the water stain is in frame, I am gonna be fucking mortified. I think the stain, the little fucking river I created was out of frame. Thank God. But that happened at that show and definitely was an act like you've been here before moment for the kid.
Yo, two more quick mentions. The V-File shows were always very fun.
Oh, sure. Thugger adjusting.
Thugger. Yeah. Thugger adjusting the dude.
Those were huge shows. That was at MSG? No.
No, no.
Kanye did that first, though. Kanye was the first one to do, but V-Files, Jeremy Scott did big shows. Tommy Hilfiger did big shows. V-Files, those were big shows, dude.
Yeah. But then N. Hollywood, I went and N. Hollywood, like, there's only one row, so everyone sat front row. But it was me, it was Narc Dad, me, John Moy, Nick Grant, Grungy Gentleman, and
the Kane.
Boy was on wild amounts of like Vicodin or some shit because he fucked up his perks because he fucked up his back. So he was he was like drooling. He was so fucking high. And we're in the background. We were seated perfectly. So like where the photographer photo pit was, like we're literally in every single shot. Like Ed Hollywood, like spring, summer, 2015. where they're all wearing like cowboy hats and shit. And you can see Moy just like leaning on his fucking cane.
This
like,
is famously Nick Grant gave up his seat or something for Moy. It was Nick Grant's seat,
Yes.
and Nick Grant
Yes.
never is getting a fucking seat, even at a show with one row. Nick Grant is standing. You know what I'm saying? That's the fucking kid. But let's call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? Let's call a corn a corn. Right? This man is coming in. He's not. He gave up a seat for Moy.
Yeah,
I'm assuming we're going to talk about this with our guest soon.
Or we already have. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
Okay, now that the boys have come out with 3 different merch items, what have you learned from the process to improve for future drops? What are the biggest challenges and costs that you didn't expect? And this is from, what is this? Op Pickin. He's an op.
From the court.
This is the court homie. I recognize his name. He is an op, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
Well, I'd say there's an op in his name. I don't know.
So I think Warren says this all the time, and it's very true. Control what you can control. When things are outside of your hands, like when the fucking, when the meatball factory is operating on Italian person time, like you can't control that, right? The gabagool is going to come out when the gabagool's ready. I think that because we do pre-order, we have to adjust our timeline so that we're thinking like way ahead, because we get an idea and we just want to do it, right?
Yes, exactly.
And with pre-order, like you have to collect information, and then you have to make this shit, and that takes the longest fucking time.
Of course.
I've also learned that Rylan is a fucking G.
The best ever.
Rylan the Merchant is a fucking king. I've learned that Lawrence is a micromanaging monster. I've learned that it is possible to design off the iPhone. Thank you, Virgil Abloh.
Yeah.
And I've learned that it's a lot of fun, and that like I really just don't want to. Because we're not pressured to put it out, like I think it's nice that we can like take our time with it and do it and continue to learn and do it right. And do things like do the blanks we want, do stickers, do go back and forth with designer on designs forever. So yeah, that's what I learned. What about you?
As a former designer myself with run of the mill brand, ever heard of it? Cult classic.
Great shiny denim shirt. Speaking of go-to denim.
It was Matt.
Man's made the Missy Elliott workwear.
As a self-proclaimed swatch god, you read about that in the New Yorker as well. I love product, man. The only thing that is more fun than making product, whether it's merch or a collab with a fabled Italian bootmaker. These boys onlys are very fun, but that's probably the only thing is I think what I was trying to say there. So for me, I love it. As much as I might be on my micromanaging Larry shit, if you will recall, I was the one who originally was like, yo, this kid Rylan has the makings of a superstar. And he's much like every other Grom that has come before him. Like being conscientious really is like the greatest commodity. If you want to get anything out of this AMA, that maybe won't be asked, but like for me, that's that dependability as a young person supporting somebody is huge, and he's getting paid, right? He's not just doing it out of the goodness of his heart, and he has found himself into what I think is like a really great position, but mainly because he's conscientious, he's responsible, he fucking tells it like it is, and he fucking gets shit done, and I think that's fucking cooler than any fucking micro influencer on fucking Instagram. I could take care of that for myself.
And
you know what I'm saying? So shout outs to that boy.
I think he gets
all the deserved love for sure.
What we've also learned, and there's a kind of question about this a little later on, is that like we can move product. And I think that, the $300 pod boots were a huge question mark.
That was illuminating for sure.
Huge question mark going into it. And it's like, can we sell expensive clothes? And the answer apparently is yes. So it's like, all right, so we can.
Well, there's merch in this Jones, right? That's how at least it's cool to know that people.
But in terms of future collaborations, I think what we've learned is that we can pick and choose the brands that we want to work with in a way that I think is super exciting for like what the future looks like.
And the V2s are so good that I also was like, I have faith in us to like. Hemming something, like changing the supply chain and making the process extremely longer, honestly, and extremely different than like what most brands would go through that are assuming they're not like producing their own fucking patterns and blanks and stuff like that. So I'm not talking like John, I'm talking about like typical merch operations our size. Like knowing that we did that and it delayed the process, but the product, having them in hands now and being so happy with what it's like, That's
Worth it.
yo, fast fashion? No, slow fashion, baby. And that's TF, you know? And I hope that people
Farm to ass.
we would never put out anything that we wouldn't wear ourselves that is fucking bullshit. And I hope that everyone who's copped up like loves their shit, because that's such a important revenue stream for us moving forward. And you and I are already cooking up a ton of stuff for fall. I'm really excited. Not to be a big things coming motherfucker, which sometimes I tend to do, but we got some cool shit in the works. Yo, a couple collabs, like good collabs, you know, at a good price point.
We'll see. And shout out Chef for working with me on that one sheeter that hopefully will fucking move
Chef, thank you,
the
bro.
hearts and minds.
I didn't thank you in person, but that shit was I mean, that's Don Draper. That's Don Draper high as fuck selling fucking pudding pops. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck. That shit is good.
I didn't do anything. It was just like a
couple statistical anomalies, I believe, in on the one cheater.
No, all truths.
All facts. Yeah. All facts.
Number one, consistently.
Hey, man.
It's about brevity, all right? All right, sure. Moving on. Pelican Child.
Brevity. You're barking up the wrong chi.
I feel like it's like when a book gets printed and it says like #1 New York Times bestseller on it. You know, like it's not like
if you hit #1, you're #1.
Yeah.
If you have a #1 album,
right, so all you had
a #1 album.
And I don't want to. I mean, listen, we dominate the fashion charts week in, week out, but there are a few fucking talented ladies that we can't seem to fucking dunk into oblivion. And I'm not saying that we're trying to, you know, dominate this space, or dominate this mainly female.
Stop
space.
Talking.
I'm sorry, I can't help myself.
All right, next question. Here's your out. Pelican Child has a two-parter. 1, James, will you go out with me? No. Number 2, what are the best I mean, maybe. I'm not gonna say, you know, that's a forever thing, but like I said to Chef, like don't fuck the groupies, right? Like I don't know, it's weird. Look, Instagram is the best dating app out there. That's all I'll say.
Wait, do you know who this person is? Is this a man or a woman?
This was off. I don't know. So this is off iTunes. So I don't know. I mean, there's no other information except the username.
Send DM James a cock or pussy pic and let him decide.
Please. Maybe only do one of those. All right, Pelican Child asked.
Yeah.
James, will you go out with me? No, maybe hit up Sham. Number 2, what are the best lightweight jackets when you're on the go? When you're on the go, I don't know what that means. Lawrence?
Yeah, I am a working woman. I live my life on the go, so I don't know any other mode. That's just how it is for working moms such as myself. My 2 go-tos are classics, and they are classics for a reason. Lightweight, I run cold, so please take this with a grain of salt. But I'm going to go with the Patagonia Retro X, preferably vintage if you can. But either way, don't buy a rare colorway secondhand if you can, even though obviously Patagonia of all brands is probably the least bad actor of the bunch. And then my second would be also a great vintage cop, a Carhartt Detroit jacket. I have 2. I have one of each of these things. They pretty much take me through fall and into, you know, real fucking outerwear season. Maybe throwing a Patagonia snap tee there. It's not rocket science, but that, and then like, you know, great overshirts, kind of like what James mentioned earlier. Shit like that, moleskin, chamois from LL Bean, you know.
So like, I don't know if there's like a travel element to this, like when you're on the go, but like when I had to go between like New York and LA, I'll use like a jacket that is great for like 50 to 60 degrees here in New York, because you can still wear it at like night in LA. And then when you come back, it's still like, you can throw like a sweater underneath it. And for me, that's a Engineered Garments kind of like M65 riff, but with like a luxe sleeve lining and hella pockets. That's why I like flying with it. And or a Axis Folk Tech Kyle Ings pre-Brain Dead brand, like waxed barn jacket, or like what is that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because it packs up so small. So you like if I need to stuff it down like a fucking nerd in a locker down my suitcase, it's just great.
This is a pretty 101 question. Jean jackets are great. Chore coats are awesome. Barbers are great.
I have a Legace Workshop corduroy jacket. That's great for the 50s, 60s weather.
Anything corduroy, fucking, you know, it's the standard things, and the best thing about these general kind of fall pieces, Coach's jacket, things like that, literally just go to eBay, go to Grail, type in the type of jacket that the style for you, barn, fucking coaches, whatever, chore, and just like browse through the options, find your size, and you pretty much can know by going vintage you're going to get something that's going to work because it doesn't need to be as robust as a fall coat, so it's going to be cheaper, it's going to be more reliable, and you'll probably just nail this in one shot. Pretty easy.
Yep. All right.
Thank you, Pelican Child.
Next up.
All right, this is from Lil Lordy. Look, ... Obviously, Chuck is the future of TF. This boy is a star. Let's push the streaming more. Give the man a segment. I see potential, ... So, my question, who is the yin to Chuck's yang?
It's Chef.
Chuck? Yeah, it's Chef, but yeah, I don't know who else it would be, right?
Yeah, I don't really understand. I appreciate the kind words, but I don't understand it. Like,
Do you want to see more like Chuck like development or like
Who are you
Chuck
asking?
pushing? I'm asking Chuck.
yeah, sure. I mean, I like this. I'll do whatever. But like, I don't think like the stream is cool because I can talk to people who are like commenting and my friends, and there's always like great conversations. But like, I don't think I could do something on my own.
Like a podcast, you mean?
Yeah, no.
Well, what about a podcast with Chef?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Based on the Ladybird performance, I think that Chef was prepared with notes, but he was kind of underprepared on like the intro and launching into it. So you just work on those problem areas and you got a fucking host. You kind of have a similar vibe to what Jimmy and I have. Though I think that Chuck, you would probably want to be more verbose in this situation. You know, otherwise you could get steamrolled. You love to lay back, dude. You love to like lay in the cut and just really wait to just
Chucky in the cut. That's a scary sight.
just really wait to be called on. But if you were a little more assertive and Chef was a little more prepared and professional in the way that James so famously is, to the point where he won a Pulitzer, I think you have a really fucking good, you have great ingredients for a duo, personally speaking.
Do you think what would some segments be between you guys?
Well, hold on. What's Chef's opinion there? Chef kind of got cut off.
I was gonna say I think we could do it. When we did the 30 for 30 shit, we had a nice working cadence there, and we like prepared.
Do you guys text off the core 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk offline.
Really?
Like a lot?
You guys talk about
not
us?
A lot, but
You
I
talk
feel
about
like
us?
especially recently, like once per episode. And I think it's funny that you guys are saying like we
You're
don't.
like, yo, you want to play words with friends?
I think it's funny. I think it's funny that you guys say that-
you agree this shit sucks ass, right? All right, yo, hit me on hit me on words
Bang
with
my
friends,
line.
bro. Bang my line.
We were just talking about how Chuck and I are like doing different things or like on our phones or whatever. Like a lot of the time I'm just like going off texting Chuck about like what's going on.
I was trying to say that, but you guys fucking interrupted me.
Oh, nice.
All right, what are some segments you guys could envision happening, or like what would you beg, borrow, steal, as every other podcast does, from us to incorporate into your show?
I think we like music.
We like music. We like Zoovies. I think that we could just take fuck with, not fuck with, and make it a
whole podcast.
Yeah,
Like you guys podcast with no guests, just you guys talking about the things that you're into.
Yeah, you guys
That's
are like
cool.
you guys are like the jock department, and me and Sham are like theater and arts. And
I'm the only one here that did. I'm the only one here that did theater. I'm the only one here that did theater in high school. I don't know what that was.
That accent was trash.
Theater.
I would love to see that. I mean, I just don't.
Would you guys? Is there a world where
could we sell that? Would you be okay with it?
If me and Lawrence are like sick, traveling, whatever, just can't do it.
God
like,
forbid.
is there a world where you guys like sub in and have
What's
like
the transition of power?
No, just like sub in.
What's the line of succession for this podcast? Chuck?
Maybe. Yeah.
Chuck is next in line, right?
If we test positive, have to go quarantine at Walter Reed.
Damn, dude.
Yo, just a helicopter.
Just SUV.
Damn. I would love to see you guys do that. I mean, I think it's a bit of an ask, right? You guys would need to be making more money to do that, and I get that, so it's probably unrealistic. But I think it would slap.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be mids. It would definitely be better than mids, and I think that's testament to Throwing Fits University, where we could put 2 Gromrads, throw those motherfuckers into Thunderdome. I think it would be better than 90% of other trash podcasts out there.
I'll float you a run a show. You copy and paste Lawrence's copy from the description. You just like tweak that shit, make it relevant to the guests or that week's topics, whatever. Like this is free content that we should be.
Well, I don't know about free, right? I think that's the point where it's like, could we compensate?
We should not be exploiting you guys. We should not be exploiting you guys more.
Further.
All right.
Our lawyer is not your lawyer.
Well,
or is he? And
I got to ask the lawyer.
The world may never know.
Gotta get that pit bull on the horn. All right.
Yeah.
Next question from Golf Guy Tims. You already know I don't like this guy.
Oh, that should be good.
Fuck golf. Has there ever been discussion of having a watch expert on the show to discuss watches as both an accessory and an heirloom investment? And he cites Stephen Pulverent from Hodinky as a question or sub question. I don't know. So,
As an example.
two things I don't like: golf and watches. So I would say no. I mean, you never know because like John Mayer's a watch expert, but like the world of watches just does not excite me. Lawrence, I know you're a watchman.
I think that who watches the Watchmen? I care about watches the most of anyone on this podcast, but even with that said, I'm not like a fucking nerd. I'm not a head. Clearly to me, well, I talked about this a little bit in Blackbird Spy Plane, but it's always been definitely a status symbol, but not in the kind of typical Larry egotistical, narcissistic way. Like, and you could read the unbeatable recon versus the unusable recon.
Right.
You could read the unbeatable recon. I was so nice enough to offer to our good friend Jonah Weiner. A whole watch pod? No, that's Jeremy's beat. That's Blammo. That's what he does. That's
and Hodinky has a pod. Like,
yeah, shout out Ben Clymer, the homie. But that's the Terry Gross of menswear podcasting. That's Jeremy. Let him do that. If anyone is paying attention at home, I will. If I know the guest is a watchman, or I can see they're wearing a watch. Andrew Chen, you would have heard it with Chris Green as well. I'm going to ask the make and model and particulars.
Yeah.
Rolex, I'm going to ask the reference. And you hate it, but let me just do that, and then we don't have to answer.
Oh no, I do let you do it, but then you go off on your fucking subdweller or whatever, like for 25 minutes.
It's
sure.
no, I don't. I'm not. I don't make it
Every
about
time.
myself. The
wedding rings have become the new watches.
I know you're triggered by the wedding ring thing because you are lonely and pathetic, and you will be that way.
I'm a free bird. I can do whatever I want, and I have a one income household with one person occupancy.
And I will say I'm very, very jealous of that fact, and that fact alone, I might add. Yeah, when throwing fits does not play by the rules of the zeitgeist because we're the ones defining it. So listen, if watches are a part of our world and we have a guest on who's into watches, we're going to ask about it, but that's not what the whole podcast is about. And we got a lot of other elements of the male millennial zeitgeist to pursue. And we will.
You never asked.
It is our promise that we're going to do that.
Watches are like watchmen are like people that are singularly focused on watches. To me, it's like how is there that much to be interested in?
There's so much.
But sure, but if John Mayer, right, it's a rich world. It's a hobby. It's a rich world with tons of history.
Yeah.
If John Mayer come on, yes, he's a watchman. Are we going to dedicate 4 hours to watches?
No.
We'll dedicate one question to watches, and Lawrence will go off and do his thing, and then we'll get back.
We'll ask him like a Mount Rushmore, or we'll just be like,
we'll get back to meat and potatoes, the meats and cheeks.
But yeah. For John Mayer, the meat and potatoes is absolutely those cheeks because my man is in the Hall of Fame of fucking getting trim. 1,000,000,000%. No, let me say this. John's enthusiasm and watch enthusiasm and fucking enthusiasm for fucking power tools and cars, it's all the same thing. It's all that. It's that under the head. It's that under the hood heady mentality. So we get it. I understand. We even have a watch channel in our court.
Yeah.
Like that's. Come tap in, bro. Anyway, next question here.
Let's throw this to the Groms first because they are music's men.
Cool. Right. So this is a music themed question. So boys, pay attention. This is from Arj the Barge. What do the core four think of rap right now? Is it getting stale? Is there anybody who they think could go on a Thugger, Future, Wayne, Gucci, Kanye, Drake, Jay run in regards to quality and trend setting that is coming up now? I thought about this a little bit, but I'll throw.
I didn't really think about it.
Let's throw to Chef.
I mean, I don't see 21 Savage in this list, and I think that he deserves to be. I think he deserves to be in that.
Recency bias, but he is a legend.
Recency bias, but I was like talking about it. I was talking about it with Lang. I'm like, dude, he has fucking hits. Like he's been around, and he
won a Grammy for a lot with J. Cole.
Yeah, which is like
that's a great song.
That's still cool that he has one, and
it's good. That's a good song too.
Take a piss in it eventually if he wants to. That'd be sick. In terms of anybody that's like on that track, shit, dude, I don't know. I mean, again, like the thing about all these dudes is that like their albums like contextualize each other. I would say that I'm like hopeful for like like a fucking like Baby
that.
Keem or something. To,
Ooh, that was God damn it! I should have gone first.
uh,
Though I don't necessarily like the 2 songs that just came out. The
I really like
2-pack.
Hooligans. I thought that was a great track.
Keem is, and the reason why Keem is a safe bet is one, Kendrick Lamar is his cousin. Also, Kendrick Lamar was conveniently left out. By the way, Thugger and Future are like, to me, in one thing. Gucci is like above them in an Atlanta sense, and then Kanye, Drake, and Jay and Wayne, the other guys he mentioned, are like on another. That's a whole nother tier. You know what
but
I'm
I think
saying?
they're all like all these
like
guys.
us tier.
But all these guys
Drake.
have sons and daughters. That
Right, but
know
Gucci's
their sons and daughters of, and then like,
yeah.
But
Gucci's
also
sons are Thugger and Future is what I meant.
Yeah, but
He's
they've
like
been around
best.
for so fucking long, and they're so prolific. I mean,
Yeah.
Gucci has like 80,000 mixtapes.
Sure.
All these guys do.
Yeah, right. We need definitely. I also think that like there is a prolificness that of Wayne and Gucci's generation. If you were a trap guy and Atlanta guy,
but also mixtape shit,
and even Future, the clip at which these guys released music is different now. Look at Baby Keem. A Baby Keem surprise drop is a 2-pack of ass or mids with great visuals, right? And Kendrick Lamar is his cousin, and it's going to be packaged in a delicious way that is easily fucking digestible on social media, specifically Instagram.
What do you think?
Yeah. Tyler is on here. I don't even like Tyler, but Tyler and Rocky clearly are in their own fucking lane. Cardi.
Chuck, what do you think?
Well, I was gonna say I'm surprised Lawrence didn't say Playboy Cardi. I think that he would have been like one of the ones that was like going on a run next. But like I agree with Sean. Like I'm hopeful, but like I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen like that.
Also, like, yeah.
What about the first question? Do you guys think rap is stale right now, or are you still like?
No, rap is never stale.
Mix?
Never. I love rap.
I don't think
rap
it's stale. Like,
if rap is stale, what genre are you listening to? Like, I think it's even talking about contextualizing. Shout out to fucking Big Brain over here, Jeffrey Epstein. Like, comparatively, at least in my opinion, I mean, I don't listen to like K-pop or whatever, so like hand up, that's on me. This is reductive to some degree. Rap is the reason these guys are the new rock stars. The reason that this is the most significant cultural art form, in my opinion, is because it's the only genre where there is new exciting shit still happening at a rate that is like is still very exciting.
Machine Gun Kelly went punk emo pop. What's he gonna do next? Number one album in the country.
What did Vic? You'll never guess what Vic Mensa did.
I think it's like the current shit, not necessarily for me, but that's just because I'm old and washed. It doesn't mean
it's a
bad.
low point. It's a low point, low, but it's still, you know.
And the one dude that I think is potentially unleashed to put out a big run of music, well, not one, but I think most likely is probably Tyler, just because like Igor was so fucking.
It was light years ahead of where he was
already.
But he's just unlocked. He's just unlocked where he's like, yo, I can do anything in any genre of music now.
Yeah.
So like I think his shit's gonna be like, it's almost like Bowie or Ye, where like every album might have like a new sound.
It's definitely a Ye type beat, and he got started so much earlier, right? You know, we're meeting Kanye as a much more fully formed, you know, musician than bastard era Tyler. This has always been my greatest beef with A$AP Rocky. You know, the prettiest motherfucker without a doubt, the coxman of all coxmans, the ultimate fashion plate, the most the most stylish rapper alive since the most stylish rapper alive, Kanye, low-key retired, right? And his music is garbage. This is the problem, right? Like the fact that Rocky doesn't make Tyler level music is truly the most disappointing thing, I think, of guys that came up in James, our era, right?
Yeah,
like when we were there on the ground for Peso, and you hear Peso and you watch the video and you're like, so this dude is the fucking, you're like, what? This is the GOAT. And then you're now with whatever the fuck.
Jeff, what are you gonna say?
So bad, bro.
I was also just gonna say there's no Pusha T on this list either, and they left out like fucking like Megan Thee, who I think is making like the most like fun shit right now. Like Megan Thee Stallion is making fucking.
Oh, Megan Thee Stallion.
Cardi B.
And
Cardi's an icon. Cardi might as well. I mean, in the way that the world works now, she's not Beyonce, but she's like she's Super Bowl halftime big. Which is like Cardi's already there, which is amazing to see it happen so fast.
But she hasn't even put out that much. She hasn't even put out that much music.
I know.
So she could be primed for a run, you know?
Yo, Kung Fu Kenny is not on here. I would listen. I want to hear the next Kendrick record for me is not his legacy on the line at all, because obviously I think Damn is like a Yeezus level in terms of efficiency and how effective it was at making various political points, but then also being catchy, bangers only, slappers only, and with the Pimp a Butterfly being like, you know, your typical kind of like 5 mic stereotypical record. Like with the next one will, I think, say a lot, right? Could Kendrick Lamar be Jay-Z or could Kendrick Lamar be DMX? You know, and I think the next one is that.
All right, thank you, Arj the Barge, for basically doing Chuck's job for him. He now has all the celebrities for his mixtape cover.
Nice, all rappers, the way it should be.
Is it me? I'm next, right?
Yes.
Angel Marquez 3040 asks question that it will probably be done with very quickly. What is the car situation like? Does anyone drive or own a car? No one here owns a car. I drive. Lawrence doesn't drive. Do you guys drive?
I drive.
Chuck, do you drive?
Yeah. Honda.
Are you guys good drivers?
Honda family.
Ban all cars.
Are you guys good drivers?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm a decent driver. I'm really good with directions. That's like one thing that
there's an app for that.
All right, next question.
Well, I will say I was an anti-car guy, and we borrowed a friend's car for a month during the pandemic, and I'm totally sold. I want to have a car. Again, I don't drive. I get
literally not like you can't drive, or you just like
no. I have a license, and it's totally up to date. I am just not. How do I say this?
A good driver.
I'm not responsible. You're always listen, kids. When you get behind the wheel, there's a risk. There's inherent risk involved. I get behind the wheel. Whew, all bets are fucking off. I've fallen asleep at the wheel twice.
Oh my god. Well, you're never sober.
I was sober
like
both
Chief
those
Keef.
times. Though Chef heard this story the other week, and I don't necessarily want to tell it because I don't want to fucking reinforce anyone's negative behavior. But I was very, very close to getting hit with a little Dewey. So, and that's a ridiculous story for another time that I will tell behind the paywall of that is it's my redemption song, and I'm not telling it today.
Dewey Lewis in the news. We'd already got the title.
You're up. Okay. This is from Perk Nowinski. I mean, not original, been done, but still good. How do I finagle a job at Complex? How did y'all finesse yours? Sorry, I've had the whole bottle of Pinot Noir. I'm a black man. I'm a young black man. Oh, I love that. How does that sound? That sounds so good. I'm a young black man.
You just want to say that.
Yes, 100%. Well, I'm doing my job. I'm a young black man with immaculate taste. That's literally me. Sent Larry my resume, but never got feedback. God damn it.
Lawrence,
should have
why
read
aren't you uplifting young black creatives, bro?
Should have read that before I read it out loud. Seems like a bunch of people getting paid to flex their taste. I need in over crunching numbers. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
Last bit is.
How do you finagle a job at Complex? You DM Rich Antonello, the screaming eagle himself.
Oh!
And you say, yo, let me get a job, fam.
Yes,
I don't know. Like,
that'll work.
Yo, we are.
How do you want to work
how do you fucking apply? You apply for the job.
Also,
I don't know,
like whatever.
How did y'all finesse yours? I applied for the job by hitting up my homie and saying, yo, hire me.
How'd I get a job? I fucking, I wrote a book. I was published.
No, I think you have to.
How did I get a job? Another dude didn't take his job. That's how I got my job.
So, Lawrence, why did you not provide feedback to this young black creative who's just trying to get a job?
And this is embarrassing, and I wish I had read this before I read it out loud. What I will say is, in all seriousness, and shouts out to Complex, and if you want to apply there, just apply through the proper channels and, like, try again with us. Mention that you're a patron. Maybe we can get you a more direct line to JLP.
Big Dick Mo. That's the homie. He's in the door now.
Big Dick Mo, the new EIC, who I guess he said would come on the pod at some point. But my point is that everything that you want to do at Complex, let's say it's fucking blog or write longer form things or podcast or try your hand at vlogging, video, whatever. Not that I understand wanting to work at Complex and thinking it is a brand that people, there is a desirability factor there and a validation that you get from that business card. James and I were benefits of that for sure. You can do this on your own. You don't need to wait around. And maybe you are doing that, right? So I don't want to judge Perk Nowinski. I don't want to pre-crime you, but just fucking do your own newsletter, do your own pod, and like getting noticed never hurts either, right? Blow your own shit up, try to get fucking paid off.
It's do it on your own, but also look, if Complex is now like, I think it's safe to say like sitting atop the pile of kind of like lifestyle media outlets out there, like there's other ones that you can kind of work up the ladder to and build experience, because like, if you're hiring for a job at Complex, are you going to take a more serious look at someone that is coming from nowhere, or someone that's coming from like High Snobiety or Hypebeast, right? Or even like some other site that, Baller Alert or some shit. I don't know. Like, like
Baller alert, Bossip.
no. If you work at Bossip, you're fucking
You're a
golden.
god. You're a god, yeah.
So that's it, right? I think like if Complex is the Death Star or the top of the pyramid, like you could either work your way up, or it's what Warren said, like whatever it is you want to be doing there, just do it so that when someone looks you up on socials, because that is absolutely 1000% going to happen if you get your resume in front of the right person. You want your socials to be reflective of like what you want to be doing, and not just your socials, but like your own personal content reflective of what you are doing or want to be doing at Complex.
Bars.
Right? All right. Crazy asks, should the scenario present itself to acquire the sacred, beautiful, robust IP that is previous podcast that should not be named, would TF make a move, or is it TF to infinity and beyond? And I'll save part 2 for when we're done with this. Lawrence?
I have gone on record saying that I do not like the name Throwing Fits, and I definitely do not prefer it to the previous podcast endeavor that shall not be named. This is personal feelings. Like, I love the emotions that TF represents, and I love this community, and I love the Throw Gang. But when it comes to the showdown, brass tacks, one versus the other, FU was a better brand than TF, and I'll say this. With that said, no, we cannot go back again. We are already extremely pathetic. And what happened to us was extremely embarrassing. And no, we cannot go back. With that said, it would make a good bit, but I don't think we would ever seriously entertain rebranding back again, even if the opportunity presented itself.
It would absolutely invalidate the amazing things we've done in the last 9 months.
Oh,
10 months.
like you think allegorically, or not even allegorically, directly, it would invalidate the whole thing. Which is fair.
The whole New Yorker profile is moot.
The SEO.
The boots are
tough.
the boots are done.
Right.
All the merch is done. All the progress we made, like I think that we're actually maybe gonna have more IG than a bigger IG than FU.
We topped off at we got topped at 35K on the old shit.
All right, so closing in.
And when everything went down, I think like upwards, you can actually check the count right now. I think 2,000 people unfollowed. So it's at 33 and we're at 31. So we're close. Great.
So
Twitter disaster.
Their audience insights must be just in the red audience wise.
Yes.
I would say no, we're not going backwards. We're only looking forward.
Onwards and upwards.
The only thing that would be fun is if we copped FU and then did something funny, like I don't know, like made a time
Chef and Chuck's pod.
Yeah, or make a time capsule and blast it in space and give it a Viking funeral.
If we got the old IP and we let Chef and Chuck.
Put that shit to bed. That shit is dead. It's dead and gone.
Viking
funeral. All right. And then the PS is, Creasy says, postscript, would love to see the Gramioli start flexing some nuts on Fit Check Fridays.
You guys have never submitted, so I mean that's up to you.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Why not? I would love to hear.
I don't like the way I look.
I guarantee it.
I guarantee it. Shit, sorry, shouldn't be laughing. That's a bummer, Chuck. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, maybe one day.
I'm gonna tweet that though.
Chef, really?
Maybe one day, but I'm not. I don't like taking photos of myself.
That's fair, and I'll say this: at the end of the day, Fit Check Friday, while I think the favorite son of all of the fucking IG Story franchises, I mean, the one that clearly most people participate in, whether that's from like pure love of the game, Aaron Levine style, or if it's like fucking, heartless clout chasing. Either way, listen, it's sponsored. We get paid to do it, and James and I get paid to participate. And I would not begrudge the Groms for being like, yo, where's our fucking taste? We want to wet the beak a little bit. Where's our free season?
Well, I think it's also about
at the very least. They should be advocating for their advancement as well. And I don't blame them. If
Fit Check Friday,
maybe. But
Fit Check Friday is the flagship property of the IG.
Flagship project of property of IG Stories for sure.
And I don't know about you, Lawrence, but like something I like doing on there more than just the fit and fit picks in general is like showing off some personality. So I think people are just hungry for more grommage. That's what it is. They want their porridge and they want their grommage. And it's like, I think it's just a place where they would hope to see you guys pop up more. And, whether it's on the IG, whether it's on the streaming, like, whether it's Chef Jams, I think it's just, there's hunger for the groms. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty clear, even though the guy earlier today that asked the yin to the yang thing was clearly a Chuck guy that didn't consider what it was like on the other side of the fence to being a chef guy, and he would know that the yin and the yang is right here in front of us. It has been this whole time, and don't ask that question. All right. Tots, $15 wants to know, how do you – there's another merch question. Maybe we can skip this if we don't like this. How do you gauge the success of items you plan to sell pre-launch, specifically pre-brand launch before your online community is strong? Oh, this is just about launching –
well,
is this about launching like a brand? What does this mean? Is he talking about –
No, the second part of this question does not make sense because you don't pre-brand like okay.
Is he trying to launch merch without having like an established audience and he's trying to get best practices?
I thought what they were asking, what Tots $15 was asking is like, how do you success like the pod shorts? Like how do you gauge the success of the pod shorts you plan to sell before you launch them out into the fucking stratosphere? Yeah. The second part of the question makes absolutely no sense. So the answer there is we had no idea and we still have no idea. And now we have like 3 instances where we kind of have like a baseline, but like they were absolutely blew expectations out of the water. I think like, we're just so happy with like the performance of all 3 of them. And that's why we do pre-order. And that's why a lot more brands should do pre-order because you don't know how it's going to do. So you don't want to underbuy and create this false hype, which just piss people off because they can't get what they want. And then, feeds into like the fucking clown ass hype cycle, or you over order and you undersell, and then you're stuck with all the shit that you have to throw out and like waste all this money and energy and resources on making.
Chasing the sellout rabbit down the proverbial hole is the worst thing that has happened to this part of the industry that we occupy. I hate that. As much as the pre-order is about us maximizing profits, obviously, and this is no bullshit. If you want one, you should get one, right? Don't buy things to resell them. Buy things that you want. And I would love for the sneaker industry writ large to accept this. I would love for Supreme to fucking, maybe I want a box logo, right? Maybe I want that to actually have as an artist. No, but I hate that we're even having this conversation. And for me, how I gauge success really is like, do I think the product is dope? Like the podcast shorts, the V2s or the T that we did. I just want them in my hands and I want the stickers and I want to just be hyped, dude. That's how I gauge success, that I want it to come out. Selling anything is great. Selling a lot is even better. But ultimately being happy with what you create this is no bullshit. Like that to me is invaluable and that's important.
I mean, if you sell one, if you're employing the pre-order model, right? Yeah. So you're in it for no money. If you sell one, it's a success.
Yeah.
Like you've already made all your money back. And
even if that's to you yourself, like sampling, like the best time that I've had making the merch, which I've already said on record has been like my favorite part of this job besides getting paid to hang out with you guys once a week, which I would just do for free regardless. And I have in the past. It's like, dude, trying on every blank for the T was like hilarious, dude. Jenna being like, why is there you have 1 million? And I'm being like, I literally donated so many of those. I think I donate all those blanks. I'm not saying like the best part is donating, but the best part was like trying on, whittling down my list, talking with you, having like a conference call for an hour about like, comfort to cost ratio and settling on the Hammerstein ballrooms and then seeing the custom colors, seeing that sample of the custom fucking mixing with the paint, like to have that come out with the green popping and the red needing to be adjusted. And that to me, that's the best part, right? And if you do that even for yourself, like that's an amazing thing to say that you accomplished. And arguably when it's all said and done, when you sell thousands upon thousands of items like us, you'll look back to those early days when it was just you and the boys on the phone talking about Johns. That's what matters. And that is priceless.
All right. Beautiful. We got a few more left here in part 1.
Okay.
Whose turn is it? Your turn?
Yeah, it's my turn. Okay. This is Jim of House Brian.
House of Brian.
Thanks, Jim. As a non-industry outsider Grom, what can I do to stay well-informed of the going-ons of fashion and menswear? What publications should I read? Who else should I follow on social media?
Besides the boys, because we tweet about pee-pee and poo-poo and Johns.
Pee, poo-poo and cum and penises.
Yeah, I can't forget cum and vomit and blood
and fat juicy asses.
Yeah. This is a tough question. I mean, follow all the big outlets like I don't know, like fucking Vogue, GQ business fashion.
Yeah,
I think
mean,
you got to go and
Boring.
like, it's boring, but that's how you follow the news and the going-ons. And then if you want to get more interesting, you follow the writers and the editors.
Yes, exactly.
And that requires, again, just a little research. We were talking about this Pair of Kings pod, like, how do we get flow team? It's like, yo, you don't hit up the designer, right? You hit up the fucking person that develops the textiles or runs production or handles shipping and distribution or socials. That's who you hit up to get on flow. So it's like, take the extra fucking step of going through the GQ bylines and just being like, oh, I fuck with Rachel Trashcan G and DeLeon. I fuck with Sam Hine, that beautiful twink. I fuck with Noah Johnson, Narc Dad, the sentient onion skin. And then follow their personals. And that's how you get like perspective that they will eventually have in print and online, but like they're gonna get a tweet off just like anybody else when shit, when news breaks.
Yeah. To curate your media diet, you got to understand the media landscape, even at a foundational level, first and foremost. Everything happens on Instagram and Twitter. That's first and foremost. Who should you follow on Instagram and Twitter? Anyone and everyone who has been on not just Throwing Fits, but the previous podcast endeavor that shall not be named. Boom, done. That's your feed. As far as getting deeper in the daily releases and comings and goings in industry news, read the blogs, Hypebeast and High Stomp, right? They don't really do long form that much anymore. They might pretend to. There's a lot of advertorial, a lot of spawn con, but as far as just like news that happens every hour, read that. If you want real intense industry shit, you read fucking industry rags. You read trades, right? You read BOF and you read WWD. Super nerdy, and at that point, you're probably wasting time. And if you're paying for a subscription, you're already fucking up. And then as far as to James's point, of anyone that you're that's already in your curated feed whose hot takes you like, check out their longer form stuff. Rachel Trashcan G and DeLeon, friend of the show, fantastic writer, GQ.com. Maybe it's fucking Lauren Sherman at BOF. Maybe when it comes to critics, you love Tim Blanks and Kathy Horn. Whatever. Find those people. See if they resonate with you on Twitter primarily, because that's where Instagram is about looks. Twitter is about personality.
Go to our Twitters and look at who we're following, and then just follow those people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the answer.
But you just, it seems like, and this is fine to have a one-on-one question, but hopefully we just kind of laid out the landscape a bit, and then from there, we can leave the curation and the click through links up to you.
All right, Kevin Stu says, and shout out this guy because I shouted him out recently. This pod is so insightful. And the co-hosts are so fucking handsome. I made that part up. That I voluntarily compile show notes after each episode and share them on Reddit, completely pro boner. I think that's either a funny joke or a typo.
That's the wrong. That's not
now,
the legal
now
term.
I'm not looking to get paid or anything, but is there any shot at TF Flow Team for a cloutless Midwestern goon that puts in the work? Kevin, yes. DM me. Got you on some flow. This is something that...
This is not how you do this. This is literally the exact opposite of what we just talked about.
This is not how you do this, but it's working.
Hit us up personally. If you're like, yo, hey, what's up? What's up, Jimmy and Larry? I'm Kevin from Reddit, who compiles show notes out of the goodness of my heart. Can I get free shorts? Yes. Same thing goes for Adrian, our fucking our King Discord mod. Not sure if you're on an off or on period of working, but just like you bought the tea, but you were like, damn, like shipping was a lot to Canada. We'll just give it to you for free. If you do shit for us, listen, you got to give respect to get respect. I said that on Pair of Kings. I believe that.
Also,
just
if
hit us
you-
up. Don't ask a fucking Reddit comment, Kev. Come on.
Yeah, if you're in the Midwest, go hit up Nick Grant. He's the fucking thirst lord.
Yeah,
he thirsted of he finessed a free pair of shorts from under our fucking noses. You see that?
Yeah.
I didn't know he got a free pair of shorts. What the fuck?
I was happy for him though, because like
I'm happy for him, but I was like, bro, you just put the director of marketing.
Yeah, I
know you got fucking $40 sitting around.
I'm happy to see King Harvest get his nut though. I mean, like listen, bro, that's the
He can wear them. He can wear them to the state fair. Wear them to the Slipknot concert.
Our merch is so futuristic, so sexual, in a fucking exciting, arguably violent way. It hadn't dropped in the Midwest yet. Those corn-fed fucking idiots, they don't get it. So like he had to get it through the plug, through Ryland, which by the way, Ryland, you didn't approve that with us, so that's a demerit.
That's a demerit.
That's a big old demerit.
What are demerits? Like you hit a certain amount and then what? You get fucking spanked? Like what happens?
God forbid you don't have to do more work for these two fucking bozos. Yeah, a demerit is a
all right,
fucking
this kid though, he does like, and this is something that
shout out this guy. Shout
out K Stu. This is something that I've actually been like considering doing for the podcast, but this kid already does it, so it's like
you eating his crumbs or whatever it is, nibbling his. You want to
snatcher.
nibble his pubes.
No, but it's like it is, there's so much knowledge.
too much.
So much
There's
big
too much.
fucking galaxy brain darts.
The Chris Green episode is going to kill this kid. It's going to take him fucking 10 years to get through the whole app. Or it did take him 10 years to get through the whole app.
That's why he pays the small bucks. That's why he pays the medium bucks. That's why he pays the big bucks, because the amount of knowledge and education you're going to get from any single episode, whether it's AMA, whether it's boys only, whether it's with a fucking, guest in the TFXN universe, if you're paying attention and you just like notate down, which is what this kid does, and then link to like all the fucking brands and the people and the businesses and the publications, that's how you build. That's the Throwing Fits University right there.
Yes. TF.
Shout out Kevin Stew. Get at me.
True.
Hit me in the DMs. I'm at inbox 0. I got Ugly Seltzer still on red because I don't want their free seltzer. Because I don't want to look like copying Lawrence. But all right, next up.
All right, penultimate question here from BLGMB7. I'm assuming that's an L and not an I, but it could be one of those type of situations.
Like in Trump's tweet.
Trump. Trump.
What does it mean?
All right. This guy wants to know, or girl, or person, non-binary, whatever. This Throw Gang wants to know, not to get too inside baseball. So you already know this question is going to be terrible with zero appeal. I love it. What is the typical weekly schedule for the Core 4 and the pod? James, as our resident
Mondays
secretary.
So okay,
you made a huge improvement in this process today.
Yes,
ironically,
because the next 2 weeks are gonna be fucking nutty. So here's kind of my personal schedule, and I think that it's gonna be reflective of at least Lawrence's. I don't know about the Core 4. I mean, you guys work your 9 to 5s. You go to the dick sucking factory, clock in, clock out, and then you hang with the boys and get to play Words with Friends with each other.
Yeah, right.
3 hours.
And get to text like little fucking like the Babysitters Club behind.
No, we love having you guys here. All right,
that's not true.
So
my greatest fear is you three having a group chat without me, and who knows what you would say about me.
Well, that doesn't happen. All right, so Mondays. I try to do like any
on Mondays we wear pink.
Good joke. Any business meetings or whatever calls on Monday. Tuesday leave open. Me and Lawrence will get on the horn for an hour, 2 hours, and pre-pro out the boys only. Couple issues to talk about. Same with Wednesday. Leave that like wide open to just research and come up with questions for the guest. Like literally, like nothing is scheduled on Wednesdays. Or if the guest on Thursday, for me, scheduled nothing on Thursdays. Monday, try to like get all the errands and shit out of the way for the week. And then Thursday is all kind of the extracurriculars, like following up from the Monday meetings, taking fit picks for the Friday, Fit Check Friday, doing all the other partnership shit, and scrambling to make the next week happen with like, because it's week to week with the guests.
Exactly.
And then Friday is usually pretty chill. So, yeah. And hopefully we'll be doing more.
Yeah, I think that the pre-pro, I don't want to like fucking ruin it too much, and especially if you don't like if you're like the boys only, or they're getting fucking bad. Well, I mean, we basically do the amount of pre-pro that goes into it because you and I just want to know kind of what the convo is going to be to some degree. We don't do the podcast twice, but that's something that definitely has started taking up more time, which is fun and enjoyable because it's you and I getting to catch up and then like basically planning out what we're going to talk about. But yeah, for the most part, and then the social media happens all over the place. We're not doing a ton of that, so it's like whatever. The titles and descriptions, those get whipped up fucking day of for the most part. On a day like today, it came in fucking real hot, real early, 8 a.m.
Yeah, but you missed Fit Gods.
But I also I forgot to post the Fit Gods. So with any great success comes great sacrifice. And I don't know, it's fun. It's
and the boots took up a lot of time. The product took a lot of time. Like
that takes the most time. Is whether it's merch or John's, and obviously the boots are the only example of this. Those things take the most time, and that's why I shout out Rylan. Not that we want to shout out all the Gromrads, from Chuck to Chef to R. Kelly to Jay to Dunk, back to Rylan. But the merch recently has been that's intensive work, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit, and that takes a lot of time, and you could spend fucking 4 hours a week talking about merch. People, I don't know if people get that, but like you could talk about clothes till you're fucking dead in the ground.
Yeah, so that's the typical weekly schedule. And then Saturdays for the boys, Sundays for God, Lord and Savior. And that's pretty much it.
Last question.
Last question from Your Mom is
For
Fat.
part one. This guy, or this has been a bit, someone did this, and I don't appreciate it because my mom is not fat. She's in great shape, and I love her. Shout out Mindy.
My mom was also very fucking trim.
Do you
and
think this is the
small.
same guy that did the same joke last time, or do you think this is someone copying him? It's almost like a copycat killer.
I don't know. I don't really care. No, because is this like your Apple username?
I don't know. I think so, but you can change that. And someone did this joke at the last AMA. We had the
All
neutral.
right, whatever. His question is, do you consider yourselves materialistic? My mom politely said I was, and I was taken back by it. Personally, I don't consider myself to be materialistic, but I do be copping Johns often so I can understand why. Question, again, do you consider yourself materialistic? And we'll all four of us do this.
Yeah, there is. Listen.
Yes.
Copying.
And we'll see you next week.
I mean, what do you think, man? If you're asking the question, you already know. There is no, what is it? There is no conscious fucking consumerism under capitalism. What's the fucking quote? You know,
Ethical?
there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. That one.
Socialist. I would
No,
say
I mean,
that,
I
would say yes. I would say
It's
yes, but I
embarrassing,
think,
but it's the truth.
but I think there's different
be honest with
motivating. I think there's different motivating factors behind various levels of materialism. Like it could be just like he who dies with the most stuff wins, right? Which is
Yes.
definitely have felt that way, or just like I need to have this in my possession to be competitive in the fucking hype cycle clowns college circus, 3-ring circus. But I think as you get older, and this is, what I think what we've tried to preach recently is like you want the things because the things represent deeper intangibles, right? So like maybe it's sentimentality, maybe it's nostalgia for like a vintage John, like Nick Grant in his movies. Maybe it's because like I fucking love and feel like even more now more than ever like a part of our legacy trajectory. So it's like I want to continue being a part of that story and whatnot. Or so like yeah, I think like this shit behind me. Like, do I want this fucking elephant there? Like, do I need that elephant right there? No, but like it's cool and it's
How
colorful.
expensive was the elephant?
I copped in India, so it was very cheap.
So,
Chuck and Chef, any thoughts here?
Yeah, my whole life is just whatever the next thing I'm gonna buy is.
that's not good. That's terrible.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah, what?
Bad.
That's so sad. Are you serious? You're gonna end on that note?
Well, isn't that the question?
I mean, well, what I would say is that
Is that not it for you?
no, absolutely not. I think that don't get angry. No,
No, that was the answer that I thought you were gonna give, to be honest.
no. What I would say is that I think that you can be self-aware. Well, what is the greatest commodity of the human condition is self-awareness, and you need to at the same time that you buy things because you want them, they make you feel good. You have to acknowledge that what you're doing is not actually anything meaningful, and that's not just a complete cop out. And it's not just a wash after that. Like you need to cop the right way, like copping vintage first and foremost, right? Like,
Or
upcycling Johns if possible,
And it's not just Johns, right?
reselling things to prevent potential future retail purchases from others. Like, so Chuck, that's, I think how you can be honest with yourself, which kind of what you did, but then you need to take positive steps.
But it's also like Chuck.
Both of those things could be true, though.
But you could look at it.
Yeah, they're
Chuck,
not
like,
mutually
look at your
exclusive,
rig.
but I'm just saying.
Look at your streaming rig. Right?
That's all I look at.
I'm thinking about Johns.
Hold on. So
is that what this is about?
It's all materialism. So I think by purchasing this computer, which is arguably very wasteful, very unnecessary to live like a decent existence, but you now have enabled yourself to like seamlessly spend a lot more time with friends, do shit you want to do. So it's not just like digitally spend time with friends, obviously, but it's like, yeah, like do I have to cop some shit, whatever, like this couch, right? Do I need this couch? No, but now I can have people over at the crib, right?
Yeah, but Chuck, you're just saying I'm miserable. Like, what are you doing? What can you do? What can you control that you can change, that you can like make a positive impact, whether in terms of your consumerism and your consumption? Like buying Johns, buy vintage, or buy from a guy like Edgar Gonzalez, who's like buy better, buy less. Buy from Edgar, where you know that the money, not only are you just buying from a POC and you're supporting a fucking independent designer, small business, but he's donating the money, right? It's a nonprofit thing. Like you're not just being like, well, I buy things because I'm sad, and my whole life is about one purchase to the next and that journey, and I'm just gonna keep doing that. You said that in a very cavalier you threw that out there, but it's more
That was all I said, though. Like, I agree with everything you just said. I'm wearing an Edgar shirt right now.
Exactly. I'm just saying, people care about what you say. So don't be, necessarily just being like, whatever, fuck it, I'm sad.
Jeff, you're at a moment where you're like building out a home now, and part of that is like buying shit. Like, do you consider yourself materialistic, to answer the question?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I mean, yeah, I think I agree with you, Jimmy. I think that it's like there's like shit that you buy for convenience, and then there's shit that you buy that's like a reflection of your personality and taste. And I think that like either are worth copying, as long as you're doing it, you're copying from the right people and you aren't like, you're living within your means. But yeah, I love buying shit and I'm always like shopping online,
Is this question about like fucking whatever, in Chef's case, fucking records, wax, right? And in Chuck's case, a fucking new PC? Or is this guy asking about John specifically?
Well, if he's asking about John's, then the answer is yes, and they know that because like this is a fucking John's podcast. But I think it's bigger. I think it's materialism on a more.
But how
scope.
How can Chuck ethically shop, like create a new computer rig with John's? That's the thing. If you're gonna be a fucking hype beast for graphic cards, then like your John consumption, the other part of your personality, you need to be buying vintage. You need to be offsetting it as best as you can. I think that's more of my point, where it's like you can't necessarily like clothes. It's so easy to be a consumer in like the best way possible.
Well, I think you can be a good, like Chuck pieced together the computer piece by piece. He built it, which is like a point of something that he should be proud of.
Sure, but that doesn't make his carbon footprint any smaller.
Okay, but it's not just that. Like, but he built this shit that's gonna last for however many years. So maybe he did, right?
So this is an existential question versus like a save the planet question, I guess.
Yeah, I think the question is materialism. Do you only take joy in the acquisition of product? Which I think, what I was saying before is that like, you can buy things that way, period, or you can think of it as like, yo, I'm buying this computer because I like playing video games with my friends, and now I can play more video games with my friends in a better way.
So the point here is, if you buy it, you better fucking use it, and you better fucking wear it, and you better fucking
buy
it, right?
You better buy it with intention.
Yeah,
good intention.
Get active, motherfucker. If you're not getting active, if you buy the fucking computer, and you're not gaming. If you buy the John and you're not wearing it, fuck out of here. Dude.
Fuck around and find out. Call back to the first question,
bitch.
Which is a great time to end part one of the only podcast that matters. Ask Me Anything.
A lot.
We got a lot more questions lined up for part two. Lawrence, we got to figure out when to do this.
How many questions do you answer? A lot.
Pussy. Thank you for our best friend submitting. It took a while to get there, but we got some big gas questions in the motherfucking. Is
that 2 hours? That's 2 hours. Right?
Hour 40.
Whew.
Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out on another lovely Monday night. Chef, it's time to get out of here. I'm gonna need.
Are we gonna do part two, or are we gonna?
Yes, I'm gonna need you to hit that motherfucking outro music.
If your question wasn't answered, we're gonna get to it, whatever, next week. So
I already said that.
Oh, okay, cool.